All right, Band of Pride, Mr. Little, Mr. Murata here. We are not here to rob your house or a bank or a train or make any demands. We are giving you a Band of Pride update while modeling proper mask procedures. So let's talk about marching band. In the last 72 hours, there's been some updates and some decisions have been made by governing bodies. And so we want to fill you in on what we're doing, what the plan is, and what are the next steps. So first, after discussing the decisions from the Athletic Association and KMEA, we have decided that the Campbell County Band of Pride will be non-competitive this fall.
And guys, it's a really hard decision to make. Mr. Little and I, we're friends with a lot of band directors around the state. We've been paying very, very close attention to what else is going on in the state. Some of you guys are probably already aware that some of our biggest, most perennially successful marching bands in the state of Kentucky are non-competitive already. They've already made that decision weeks ago, okay? And we've learned that there are a lot, that decision is being made by a lot more bands like us, our size, smaller, larger, in our area, and those decisions are going to be made in the next 24 hours. Could be being made as we speak.
We don't want to drop names of bands before they can talk to their kids, but this decision was not made in a vacuum.
Right. So we believe that this is going to become a majority decision. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it a decision that's any easier. It's a difficult decision, but we believe it's the writing is on the wall that this is the decision that we're going to have to make. We're not going to be able to be traveling to contests that may or may not happen.
And we spoke last week and we were very honest with you. We were hoping that the Athletic Association would lighten the pod restrictions that they have in place. They met on Friday and they did the opposite of that. So they extended the pod regulations until August 2nd, and they also implemented a new rule that says each student can only be on campus for 6 hours a week. That is very restrictive for us in putting together a 7 to 8 minute marching band show. It makes it next to impossible. Now, we have pushed back the start of school to August 24th, but we don't know the format of school once we start. And so there's a lot of things at play with this decision, and we need to make sure we're keeping our priorities where they belong, and that's keeping you safe and healthy and in line with the new restrictions and the timeline.
We've had a lot of meetings with our band staff members, color guard, wind, percussion staff. We've had meetings with our school administration. We've had meetings with the assistant superintendent of the school district, and everybody feels that this is the decision that's in the best interest of current students' health and families, the current state of the band, what's best for our program right now, and what's going to be best for our program going forward as things hopefully normalize and get back to normal in the future. Okay, it's not an easy decision by any stretch of the imagination, but we are very, very confident that as a staff and as a school, that this is the decision that is best for the program right now in the current situation.
Now here's our plan, okay? So I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode because I forgot. No, I'm not. Okay, here's our plan. So we would like to perform a 3 to 4 minute show at home football games, okay? And so we want to use the same approach to the activity that we always do. We don't want to go out there and play the best of the Beatles. We want to do a real marching band show. So what we're going to do is, from the same arranger that writes for us normally, we would like to purchase just an opener of a show or just the closer of a show. So this means that we are going to postpone performing Stranded till next fall, okay? We feel like that's in the best interest. We just built this vehicle to drive. We don't feel comfortable, chopping it up for a 4 minute show.
The show won't work very well as a 4 minute show. So we want to move forward with something that will work as a 4 minute show that you guys will love and that will serve the educational purpose, because that's the primary reason for marching band. We want to make sure that we are doing something that gives all members a good educational experience, gives us a good vehicle moving forward, gives newer members the experience of doing marching band in the way that Campbell County does marching band. We love the Beatles. We love pop music, but that's not really what we do as a marching band. So we want to move forward with a shorter show, but is in the style of what Campbell County does as the Campbell County Band of Pride.
Exactly. And so we want to give you as many of as much normalcy as we can given the circumstances, but we will have to adapt to the changing guidelines and expectations. We will not do anything that puts you at risk in any way, okay? So now, as we move through the season, we'll have to be flexible, all right? And we'll have to adapt, okay? So, but as we give you instructions and guidelines and procedures, we must follow them, all right? Because the quickest way for us to have to shut down or a kid gets sick or staff gets sick is the quickest way for that to happen is if we don't follow the guidelines.
And it's not just us, guys, it's athletics as well, okay? The coaches, athletic director, they're passing this sort of information along to their student athletes as well. If they want to have athletics in the fall moving forward, they have to be flexible and follow the guidelines. It's going to be the same thing for us, okay? We want to have the marching band experience that we want to have and that we know you guys want to have, but so we need to make sure that we are very strict and very responsible about following those guidelines. That's going to come from everybody, from 8th graders, freshmen, all the way up to seniors and staff as well.
Yeah, and guys, I mean, if you've seen myself in public for the last 4 months at a Kroger or a gas station or whatever, like I've been wearing a mask. You've seen it from day one to now, and it's not going to stop, okay? And so I'm doing my best to keep us in a position to be able to perform together. That's my job, and Mr. Murata is doing his best to keep us in a position to be able to perform music together, because at this point, and I don't know about you, but I just miss the activity. I miss making music together. I miss seeing teenagers. I miss being on this campus, and so I will do whatever they ask, okay? And in our opinion, and the decision we made, is to give us the best path to being able to get back to what we love and what we want to do, okay? And so even though it's 4 minutes instead of 8, it's still the activity we love. And even though we're not going to travel to a show, we still get to do this activity together and make music together and perform together, all right? And that's what really matters. And so seniors, you're probably going to take this the hardest, and we understand why. I get it. You must look at the big picture and realize that from day one that I met you, okay, 5, 6, 7 years ago, or if you had siblings 10 years ago, one of the things that we've always said at the Band of Pride is that we don't chase pieces of plastic. We don't chase trophies. We're not in this to win things. We do it because we love the activity. We're gonna test that this fall. We're gonna see if that's really our belief, or if we were just saying that so we could win big pieces of plastic, okay? We've been very successful. Seniors, you have nothing left to prove from a competition standpoint. You've done just about everything you can do in this activity, okay? You were the 36th, 35th best marching band in the country last year. You don't have anything left to prove in the competition arena, okay? What we need from you now is to be leaders, and for you guys to carry us through this. Because next year, the following, when things do get back to normal, this is going to determine what those bands look like. How we handle this fall is going to have a direct impact on that. And so that's what you can do for us.
And like we said, guys, the music is going to be very similar. The style of band that we are is going to be very similar. It's the same group of people. It's the same staff. It's just that we won't be traveling to competitions with large groups of people, which probably aren't going to happen anyway, but we won't be able to do that on Saturday. But we can still do it. We can still have fun and go about it that way.
So moving forward, you are going to get a letter on social media that kind of explains what we've talked about and outlines some next steps. And so parents, we're going to host a Zoom meeting. It'll be in the letter, the exact date and time. We're waiting on a couple things. So it'll be in the next few days this week, a Zoom meeting that you can ask questions about the new approach and what's going to happen. It'll also we'll also cover the updated schedule and what it looks like for the week of the 20th and the 27th. We can't go beyond that yet. So what those weeks will look like. We are going to start on the 20th with just garden percussion for that week, and they're only doing 2 days each, and we'll explain all that. And then on the 27th, we'll add in horn line. Okay, because these rules and regulations are going to take some time to implement and abide by. So we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it at first. And then hopefully, again, if KHSA and the Athletic Association and the schools lessen restrictions, we'll be able to have everybody on campus together on August 3rd. That is the plan as of now. And again, that's not our plan, okay? We are following the guidelines and the restrictions set for us, okay?
For the weeks of July 20th and 27th that we're talking about, we are going to be meeting the guidelines set forth where students are only on campus for a total of 6 hours a week. Okay, it may be less than that once we get the schedule put together, but we're going to be very, very flexible, and we're going to meet those criteria and those guidelines as they come out.
Now, before you answer this next question, okay, take a time, take a breath, take a beat, okay? And because I know knee-jerk reaction, some of you are thinking this isn't what I signed up for, I don't want to be part of this, and we understand that, okay? If you told me a year ago I'd be sitting in the band room in the mid-July wearing a mask, sitting next to Mr. Murata, I would have bet against you, okay? So nobody expected this situation. So now we have to make the best of the situation presented to us, and that's what we're trying to do here, okay? If you take time, okay, I want you to discuss it over with your family. I know I've gotten some concerned emails as we get closer to starting this, that some families are concerned about, you know, it's not what the pandemic isn't where they thought it would be at this time, and this and that, and we understand that. And so if after discussing with your family the new format and the new restrictions and everything, if you decide that this isn't for you, we understand, okay? We're not going to hold it against you. We'll welcome you back, non-seniors, obviously, we'll welcome you back with open arms next fall, and hopefully we'll pick it back up again. So you don't need to feel guilty. We want you to make the best decision for you and your family and your safety and your mental health. Like, this is all, we're just here for you. That's where we're at right now. Parents, we will be reducing fees for the marching band. We still will incur quite a bit of expense for a non-competitive marching band because we have to staff it.
Because it's going to be just as educational as it would on a normal season.
Yeah, and with these restrictions, we actually have to add more staff to abide by them. So our staff bill is still there, our show cost is still there, things like that. We just won't have travel expenses, and so we will reduce the fee to accommodate the reduced travel expenses. That's a board decision. That's not necessarily a band decision. It has to be approved, and so we're working through that. Once that's decided, we'll pass that along to you. For right now, we just need you to commit to it. That's all we need, and you know that it won't be $495. That's what you know, okay? And so we will lower it. We just don't know to what. All right, and if you've prepaid, we'll answer those questions on the Zoom meeting, give you some options on what you can do. We have a plan in place for that, so no worries there. All right, so moving forward, we're going to be together. Okay, that's what we know. We're going to do a show together. That's what we know. We're not going to compete though. Okay, guys, and so we want to be as open and honest with you as possible. Keep in mind that this is an ever-changing situation, and that we are making the best decisions we can with the information we have. And if that information changes, then our plan will change, and we will update and do whatever we can to give you the best experience the situation allows.
And it's going to be a great experience, guys. We're gonna get through it together. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to get a lot out of it. It'll be a little different, but at the core, it'll still be the Campbell County Marching Band that you guys all know and love and want to be a part of.
I just want to see teenagers make music together. That's all I want. Guys, I miss you. Mr. Murata misses you. When we get together, those first few days, there will be no music being made. It'll be sheer noise, but that's okay. And we'll get back after it. And beyond marching band, the next school year, guys, you got to stick together. You got to be on team band. You got to be with us. You got to be positive, abide by what we're asking you, be mature. We're going to ask a lot of you in the next year, okay? And I don't know of a better group of teenagers on the planet, so I have no doubt that we're going to be able to handle it. All right.
Look for a schedule for the next 2 weeks, all right? And then hopefully by August 3rd, we'll be back into a camp schedule, all right?
All
Look
right.
for that from Mr. Little.
Bye.